Hello and welcome to the Formula Racing League. This is the 100% Racing Championship. Round 8 of this 9-round championship takes us to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Now, qualifying was done the day before. Let's have a look to find out what exactly happened during then. Q1 was wet, but with only 15 runners, it was used as a practice session. Q1 won retirement during that, which happened to be disqualification, which was Wheel Dog. In Q2, Leppy, Mays, Page and Max not making a time during then, with Vamu, Dixon, Big Boss Bells, Lynx and Quick Killer all getting through on the mediums. The others got through on the softs. And in Q3, Big Boss Bells stole pole at the last second. So he'll line up pole position on the grid, crucial for his championship campaign. We'll be able to convert that into the race win. We'll find out in a moment. It could also be the location where Dixon wraps up the championship. Now, with Orange and Gamma, his nearest title rival, not taking part in tonight's events, Dixon has a golden opportunity to seal the title on home turf, just as he did in the Super Sunday F1 Championship a few weeks ago. 21 points is the margin between Dixon and Orange and Gamma, and 59 between Dixon and Big Boss Bells in third. So all Dixon needs to do is Big Boss Bells has to outscore Dixon by at least 18 points in this race to keep the title battle going to the last round of the season in Austria next Saturday. So more on that in a moment. Let's run down on the grid for the start of this race. Big Boss Bells on pole position with Dixon alongside. Vamu is third, with Liverpool Fan in fourth, and the first of those on the softs. Eckhartz is in fifth position with Scotty sixth. Lynx is seventh ahead of Jay Hartnell. Max and Mays rounding up the top 10. Leppy and Wild Dog were 6 ahead of Gainful Odds and Paskov. Paskov got a 10-place grid penalty for retiring out on circuit twice during qualifying. King of the Hills and Statistic King on row 8, followed by Mielios, Safdar on row 9, Leclerc and Mazepin making up the back row of the grid. And as far as I know, from what I can see, only 17 cars are involved in tonight's showing here at Silverstone. Just looking to see who is not involved. And it looks like that Paskov is not taking part, so he's out of the running. Statistic King also not involved. Safdar likewise, and Leclerc not in there, but Slow Coach will start behind Mazepin. So at least we've got a decent number of drivers involved in today's action. 52 laps it is of this Silverstone track. So Dixon, all he needs to essentially do is, if he can finish second behind Big Boss Bells, that would be enough for him to clinch the title. So the Silverstone circuit, now the Arena Grand Prix circuit, as it's been used since 2011. It's a 5.891 kilometre racetrack, and back in the days where we had the bridge section that took us towards where Brooklands is. Used to be a 60-lap event. That was a 5.1 kilometre circuit. Did enjoy that part of the Silverstone track back then, but that was over a decade ago. We look at the present. And could we crown a new world champion today of Dixon? Starting second behind Big Boss Bells, who looks to convert his pole position into the race victory. He has already won a race this season in Canada, so win number 2 could be on the cards for him today. He is starting on the mediums, but keep an eye out on the likes of Liverpool Fan, Eckhartz and Scotty on the soft compound. So the cars coming onto the grid for the start of the British Grand Prix. 52 laps of this 5.8 kilometre racetrack. One of the most historical venues in motorsport history, let alone Formula 1. So the last few cars taking up their positions on the grid. The Slow Coach taking up 17th, and the last position on the grid. So we'll await those 5 red lights, and when they come on and extinguish, we'll be racing here at Silverstone, and we will be racing here at the North Manchester circuit. It's the lights out, and away we go. Big Boss Bells gets off the line brilliantly, but Dixon gets an even better start from second place. He'll lead into Abbey. Dixon takes the lead from Big Boss Bells down into turn 1, and they go side by side through Farm. And who will have the upper hand as they come into Village for the first time? The answer is Dixon. Dixon leads the British Grand Prix from Big Boss Bells. Liverpool fan up to 3rd place ahead of Vamu, with Jay Hartnell going side by side with the Ferrari of Lynx. And we've got what looks like a safety car already, because someone has been in the walls. Not sure who it quite is. There's debris on the racetrack for sure. Now Slow Coach is at the back of the field as he had a coming together with someone. Not too sure at the moment. We'll find out to see who has got damage. It must involve someone. Wild Dog's got damage to the left hand side of his front wing. I don't know if he's tapped the back of someone. But either way, we are under safety car conditions. Dixon getting off the line brilliantly ahead of Big Boss Bells. Liverpool fan in 3rd place, making an excellent getaway to get in front of the medium compound starter of Vamu in the racing points. Jay Hartnell's in 5th place for Renault, followed by Lynx, with Max, Eckert, Leppy and Scotty running out your top 10. And the biggest starters are Messerspin from 16th to 12th. And Jay Hartnell up from 8th to 5th. Now as it stands with the race order as it is, Dixon will be crowned champion. Now, he's gone into the round, looking at the championship standings, 21 points clear of Orange and Gamma. If he can score at least 22 points in this race, then that would be enough for him to steal the championship realistically. You can see some drivers making their way into the pit lane. There are 3 drivers in the pit lane. Scotty is one of them. Has he got front wing damage? He will have done actually. Yeah, Wild Dog unsurprisingly in the pits. Mazed is as well. Now will they go onto a set of mediums? Mazed is. What about Wild Dog? Goes onto a set of mediums as well. Scotty's out on a set of soft compound tyres. There is one driver with a penalty at the moment. That will be Gainful Odds in 10th place. He can take those 5 seconds the next time he comes into the pits. With it being a dry race, at least 2 dry compounds have to be used throughout the whole of this one. Paige coming in saying, I wish I could drive. Well, you didn't do too bad of a job in Singapore last week, Paige. It'd be great to see you join the grid tonight. I'm sure a lot of people, particularly the English fans of the sport, would have been very happy with England's performance tonight in the European Championships against Ukraine. Best of luck to them against Denmark come Wednesday night. Now, I don't think the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, so this will present an opportunity for those who have pitted to catch back up. So Dixon behind the safety car in the lead. Five times a race winner this season. Or 4 times a race winner, I should say. Orange and Gamma's won. Has won 2. And Big Boss Bells has won 1. And there's some very much mistake in there. But yeah, Dixon has actually won 5 races. My apologies, I was right first time around. Dixon has won the last 4 races. He's missed one of the races actually as well. He missed the second round of the season in Japan, but has managed to recover well to get back on terms with Orange and Gamma, and with Orange and Gamma not racing tonight, Dixon knows that the championship is in reach here. He hasn't won it yet. We are on lap 3 out of 52. Dixon coming in and saying, now that's the start I needed. Couldn't agree with you more. Now, how long will the safety car remain out there for? I think Slow Coach and Scotty have picked up time penalties, actually, for making contact under the safety car, so that will have to be taken at their next pit stops. Or if they get to the end of the race, they'll be able to their race time. And the safety car is in at the end of this lap. So Dixon will back up the field, and he'll decide to go when he's ready. Not quite getting all the information that we want on the screen at the moment, but we'll update you as best as we can. And Dixon back in the field up. The safety car is in the pit lane, and Dixon is away through Vale and Club onto the Hamilton Straight in the lead. Dixon leads on the restart. Then we've got Big Boss Bells a second behind him. Liverpool Fan in third place. He'll be keeping the Alfa Romeo driver company. He should have the tyre advantage at this stage. And Big Boss Bells nearly losing it coming through farm. He's gathered it all together by the time he gets into village. But they won't want to be making too many mistakes like that. Max behind in 7th. Lynx is ahead of him in the Ferrari. They've got Eckhart and Leppy, Gainful Odds, Mazepin, Mielios. King of the Hills is in 13th place behind him. Scott is in the pits. That's the second time he's in the pits, actually. And his chances of points are diminishing here. Dixon out in front, and Max, Eckhart, Leppy, Gainful Odds have got past Lynx, whose car is being controlled by the AI at the moment. There's been some disconnection between Lynx and the lobby itself. So Max in 6th place ahead of Eckhart, leading through Club as they end lap 4 I should say. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps. It's a golden opportunity for Big Boss Bells to open up the gap even more than what he's got at the moment. He's over a second clear, so he's out of DRS range from Big Boss Bells behind. But Liverpool Fan is all over the Alfa Romeo, so we could see Liverpool Fan toss it out with the leaders in the opening stages. Through Woodcote they come. And this is Cops next. Big Boss Bells goes wide. Liverpool Fan closes up behind. They won't have DRS because it's not enabled yet. He can nevertheless still have a good old go. Melios is retired. He's out of the race. Not sure what's happened. He's crashed on the exit of Cops. So Melios is the first retirement of the race. Will that be enough to deploy the safety car? It's enough to deploy. Yeah, it's the safety car. Yeah, we've got a safety car again here at Silverstone. Melios had crashed on the exit of Cops, and his race has come to an end after only 4 laps of racing. And Liverpool Fan taking the opportunity to pit. Now, if he chooses to go onto the hard tyres, that'll be him going to the end of the race. He is taking a gamble, though. He's going to a set of mediums, actually. So he's out on his way. There's also an Alfa Romeo in the pit lane. That'll be massive spin. And Liverpool Fun will rejoin in 14th place behind the Red Bull of Maze. So we have our second safety car in just 5 laps of racing here. I wonder how many more we'll have before the 52 laps is up. We are at a later time than we normally would due to the clash with the UEFA European Championship quarter-final match between Ukraine and England. I'm sure the England fans know how that went. It was an emphatic performance. Can Dixon produce something as emphatic as that? He is an Englishman as well, so he'll be revved up for this on the back of what he has seen from the England team tonight. Now there are 4 drivers with penalties so far. Gainful Odds is one of them. Wild Dog is another. Slow Coach likewise. Mazepin is the other. We've got Ferrari going off there at on the hangar straight. That's Lynx, who just must have got out of shape through Chapel. Now, as it stands with the order as it is, Dixon will be champion. But Big Boss Bells can get back into it. He needs to outscore Dixon by at least 18 points in order to keep the title race going. That could well be him winning the race and Dixon finishing 4 lower. But in each race he's competed in, Dixon hasn't finished I'm just trying to see what Dixon's lowest finish is. I think he missed rounds 2 and 3 because he missed Canada as well. Well, Dixon's on 198 points going to the event tonight. Dixon leads behind the safety car. Mace now also has a time penalty. He's got 5 seconds to his lane. Slow Coach has got 10 seconds worth. The lights are off on the safety car, so it'll be coming in at the end of this lap. So can Dixon lead the field? Hopefully we won't get any more interruptions in this race. And so he leads away. Big Boss Bells will be under pressure though from Vamu behind. So we go at the start of lap 8. Further behind Jay Hartnell up to 4th position as Max. Oh, Liverpool fan is out. What's happened? He must have lost it on the exit of... he's done it on the Hamilton straight. Now surely we're not going to get another safety car here. But Liverpool fan has lost it on the Hamilton straight. We can't quite get an image of it at the moment. But what we do know for certain is that his race is over. Did he have a coming together with someone? We'll find out in a moment from his point of view later on. No need for another safety car. But what we can see further behind is that Max is putting a move on. Jay Hartnell for 4th place in the AlphaTauri goes through. So Max up into the top 4. And Eckhart's looking to follow suit as well as they come through the winding bends of Maggots, Beckett and Chapel at the end of it before the drivers head on to the hangar straight. Eckhart into the slipstream of Jay Hartnell now. We're riding on board with him. He's dropped away actually from the Renault, so Eckhart probably wait until DRS has been enabled, which will be the lap after the next one that they're going to go through. Kenny Hill's getting a time penalty now for track limits, and there's a yellow flag down there at sector 2, but it's just been cleared now. It's gone green. That could well be a glitch. And Mazepin back in the pits again. So coach likewise. Were they involved in the collision with Liverpool fan? Not 100% sure at the moment. What we do know is that Leppi's got ahead of gainful odds now, so Leppi looking to make an impact on this race. Eckhart less than 3/10 behind Jay Hartnell, who continues to pull away. Here's Vamu in 3rd. And May's going up to 12th place now after pitting at the end of the last safety car period. Mazepin and Slow Coach will rejoin in 13th and 14th places respectively according to the leaderboard. Someone else has gone off at Chapel. It's Eckhart. He's gone into the wall and he's broken his front wing. And we've got yet another safety car, would you believe it? Our 3rd safety car on the race. And we're only at the end of lap 9. So Eckhart's leftover debris is enough to contribute to another safety car period. He's back on track again. But he'll be back in the pits for a change of nose. And those who have started on the soft compound may need to think about pitting in for tyres. Now we know Eckhart will be coming in to get a new front wing fitted on. What tyres will he choose to go on? He'll be going on to another set of softs. Or is it a mediums actually? No, set of softs. So he'll be pitting again before the race is over. He's out on his way. And Mazepin back in the pits again. How many times has he been in the pits? He's already been in twice. This must be the 3rd time he's pitted. Going for a set of medium compounds this time. And he's serving some of his penalty in the pits as well. So he's on the medium compound. Can he go to the end of the race on those? So Dixon once more leads behind the safety car. And Jay Hartnell decides to pit in at the end of this lap. So he's going for it. Now what compound will he choose to go on? There's a set of mediums ready for him. He'll rejoin behind Mays, but will be well ahead of Eckhart. So there should be no problem here for Jay Hartnell, who will rejoin in 11th place. It's uncertain how many drivers will finish at the end of this one. So Joey Hartnell out of the pit lane. Eckart's got a time penalty for track limits. He's done that on the safety car as well. Don't understand why he needs to be going around the circuit so quickly as he is doing. You're going to be catching up to them anyway. All you're going to do is just waste tyre life. Now Dixon will be waiting for the safety car to be going back in. It will be going around for another lap because the lights are still flashing on it. So we'll continue on for one more lap. Now Dixon will be thinking, well, he's just coming and saying, what is this race? Well, I couldn't agree with you more. We've had 3 safety car periods. This is one of them. Dixon completing lap 11 now. 41 laps to go. Leads ahead of Big Boss Bells and Vamu. Max is in 4th on the mediums. Leppy's the highest of those who have started on the soft compound. In 5th, Gameful Odds and King of the Hills next behind. And it's Wild Dog, Scotty. Well, you could just see Wild Dog going off the track there. So Dixon knows what he needs to do on the restart. Just do what he did before and just pull clear of everyone else. And just hope that no one else keeps spinning off the track and causing another safety car. Now, how will this affect those on the mediums in terms of their race strategy? And safety car is coming in at the end of that. So Dixon will dictate the pace once more, and he'll go when he is ready. Oh, there's contact behind. Not sure who's lost the front wing. Looks like a Renault front wing that's damaged. And it's Jay Hartnell's car. So he must have got a penalty for that then. But we are back on the way with Dixon in the lead. Major's been penalised for the contact with Jay Hartnell as well. But more on that later as Dixon leads on the restart, with Big Boss Bells chased by Vamu. Max and Leppy in 4th and 5th positions. And Gameful Odds has dropped down the order, I think, actually, as well. So he's lost a lot of time there. Eckert back up to 9th position by passing Mazed. Scotty's the next man up. But Lepi going after Max for 4th position here. Will the drivers keep it clean between now and the checkered flag? Eckhout now passing Scotty at Luffield onto the old pit straight before Copse to put his Mercedes up to 8th place. Now can Lepi find a way through ahead of Max as they come into Beckett before Chapel. Lepi making the use of his ERS to help get him into the slipstream of the AlphaTauri. So Dixon out in front by a second. Vamu in third, 9/10 behind. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. Lepi all over the back of Max as they come through the loop. Past entry, and this is the Wellington straight. So they're coming through. Lepi into the slipstream of the AlphaTauri. Don't know if he's going to be close enough as they go into Brooklands. Lepi remaining behind. He is on the softs at the moment. There are 13 laps old. Max is on the mediums that are 13 laps old, so Max's tyres will be in better condition than the Haas. And so coach getting another time penalty of 3 seconds. They'll go to his time at the end of the race. Mazepin passing Mays for 10th. And this is Lepi now all over the back of the AlphaTauri. Must have got a better drive coming out of Beckett. Hence why he's pulling alongside here on the hanger straight. Does he go around the outside? Goes in too deep, I think. But they're still side by side. And Lepi could get the job done here into Vale. Down the inside. He's got the job done before the corner. Nice move there from Lepi as the Hungarian driver goes up to 4th place ahead of Max. King of the Hills is in 6th position ahead of Wild Dog. Eckhout's in 8th. Scotty 9th. And Mazepin rounding out your top 10 so far. And here's Lynx. It's showing that he's a lap behind Jay Hartnell. So I don't know if that's just a glitch with the Codemaster system. We'll find out soon enough anyway. There is Jay Hartnell in 14th place. King of the Hills passing Wild Dog. Wild Dog doing the switchback. And he's got through again. King of the Hills going back into the slipstream. And there's the Ferrari of Lynx trying to unlap himself. They may well be battling for position here, but I'm not 100% sure if they actually are, you know. But Eckhout's down the outside, like he's trying to get... Oh, there's contact! Eckhout breaks his front wing again. And there's debris all over the racetrack. He's just ploughed through it at Beckett. And that'll be him back into the pits. He's going to have horrible, horrible understeer through the corners. He's got a racing point of Scotty and the Alfa Romeo of Mazepin going by. There's no doubt he'll be going back into the pit lane for a new nose now, is Eckhout. So Scotty's through. And, oh, the Alfa Romeo of Mazepin's gone off. And Mace will come up behind him. What a complete mess that Eckhout has made trying to make a move on King of the Hills. The Williams driver's going past there. And Jay Hartnell's gone for another spin. He's down at Beckett's this time. He's had a really torrid race as the Renault pilot. Here we go with the battle for second. The DRS has now been enabled, which means Vamo will be able to use it to his advantage to try and get in front of Big Balls Bells. Eckhout leads the pit lane in 13th place. Vamo looking to Line up a pass now on Big Boss Bells as they come down. They hang a straight. DRS is open on the back straight. The hanger straight, that is. But he's not going to be close enough to have a go. Leaders are now on lap 17. Big Balls Bells and Vamu coming through Village. This is the loop they're going through. The next bend is Aintree and then the Wellington Straight, where Vamu can use the DRS. There are 2 DRS zones on this Silverstone track. There was a time in 20... Oh, before I go on about DRS, Leppy's gone off at Aintree and he's lost 3 positions before he rejoins the racetrack. So Leppy down to 8th place in the Haas in the Haas car. I don't know how he's managed to lose it there, but he must have lost it on the curb or trying to pass Max for 4th position somewhere. But what I was going to say is that there are 2 DRS zones on the Silverstone racetrack. There used to be 3 back in 2018. There was a DRS zone on the start-finish straight, but they took it back away again because they felt that Abbey is not a braking zone, and plus drivers were having problems or having crashes down at turn 1 after using the DRS, particularly Marcus Ericsson, whose crash that caused a safety car. But Vamu all over the back of Big Balls Bells as they tussle over 2nd place. Here's King of the Hills in 6th behind Wild Dog. It's a lovely racetrack here. It is Silverstone. King of the Hills has been on the soft tyres since the start. Closing in now on Wild Dog. Scotty's behind in 7th. Not sure he'll go to the end of the race on those mediums. DRS open on Vamu's car as they go down the hanger straight. He won't be close enough again to have a go on Vamu. So he waits behind again. Not seeing too many other battles at the moment, although we've got Mazepin closed in now on Leppy in the battle over 8th. The majority of the field have got time penalties at the moment. Including King of the Hills. Mazepin not taking the best line before going on to the start-finish straight. And getting a time penalty for it as well. Oh, someone's gone off it. Well, looks like Beckett, it's Jay Hartnell again. He's had a really, really torrid race. Has the Renault driver. Has he broken his front wing? I think he must have done if he's gone that far wide. He gets out of the way of the leaders. I think Jay Hartnell will be heading back to the pit lane, to be honest with you, to retire the car. Here's Max in 4th position. And Jay Hartnell's carrying on as he is. The Leffy's now got past King of the Hills for 7th place, so he's making a recovery drive Here's the Haas. Has been going wide again. Links with the new fastest lap of the race. It's outside the top 10, so he wouldn't be able to keep that point for the fastest lap. And Mazepin's gone off. Mazepin's gone off at what looks like... I was just going to say he's gone off at Village and then the loop. And now he's falling behind Jay Hartnell, who's let him through again because he's a lap down. Oh yeah, Mazepin's just deliberately gone off on purpose there. I don't know what on earth he was thinking. That's not good driving standards at all. Just look back on the footage. He just deliberately cut across on the entry to Village. And he's got a massive time penalty now of 19 seconds. And someone else has gone off. Is that Jay Hartnell again? It is. That'll be him back into the pit lane. Leppy's now got past Scotty, or so he thought. Scotty's got back through again. And we've got another safety car. And that'll be because of leftover debris, I would imagine. That's our fourth safety car of the race. And we are only on lap 21. We're not even at half race distance yet. I think driving standards may need to be thought about going forward, to be honest with you. Mazepin's out of the race. He's entered in the pit lane and retiring. Jay Hartnell back in the pits as well. Will he decide to call it quits? So King of the Hills back out on a set of hard tyres. Gainful odds. Oh, we've got a problem. Oh, it's okay, the Alfa Romeo's moved now. But Jay Hartnell's now back in the pit lane to get a new front wing fitted on. Serving some of his time penalty as well. Now what will the leaders do? Dixon decides to stay out. Big Boss Wells pits, as does Vamu. So Dixon is taking a gamble through all this. He did a dummy to put off Big Balls Bells and Vamu. Max taking the opportunity to come in as well for AlphaTauri. And Wild Dog carrying on. Big Balls Bells going on to a set of softs. Vamu on hards. I can't imagine Big Balls Bells is going to get to the end of the race on a set of softs when we haven't even reached half distance yet. Wild Dog goes up to second place. Scotty will go up to third. Big Balls Bells fourth and Vamu now fifth. Max will rejoin in sixth place, with Leppy seventh and King of the Hills in eighth position. Eckhots will be relieved to see yet another safety car period here in ninth place. So many drivers with time penalties at the moment as well. Leppy getting out in front of King of the Hills. Crucial for him. Dixon's caught up to the safety car. They're just entering. Maggots now. Now, in regards to the championship, Dixon is on course to take the title, whatever happens. See Big Boss Bells. But if Dixon was to finish out of the top 3 in this race, the championship battle will go on to the last event in Austria in 7 days' time. We've still got 30 laps remaining. 4 safety car periods. Dixon would just be hoping maybe for not another safety car here. He has yet to pit in this race, so he's got to pit whatever happens. Now, will the safety car choose to come in at the end of this lap? And the safety car deciding to stay out for one more lap, and then they'll be coming back in. Now, once it's done its third and final lap under this period, it'll have done a total of 10 laps out of a possible 24. I just hope there's enough fuel in that safety car. Just I'll spur mile under. And drivers with time penalties at the moment. Wild Dog is one of them. Leppy's another. King of the Hills likewise. Eckhots has 3 seconds worth of time penalty. Gameflaws has a drive-through penalty which he'll have to serve once the safety car comes in. Slow Coach has 16 seconds worth. Jay Hartnell has 19 seconds worth. Lynx has 3. Wild Dog, who's up in second place, has 6 seconds worth of time penalty. But we've got 28 laps to go after this one and plenty of time for him to make up those 6 seconds. And the safety car now coming in. Dixon looking to just focus on what's in front of him. Remember, he's still got to pit in this race. He's got, I would say, at least 10 to 15 laps worth of medium tyre life left. before he chooses to go onto the soft compound. After all, he has done 10 or so laps under safety car conditions, so he may be able to go a little bit longer if he wishes to. But we are back underway at the end of lap 24. Is that going to be the last safety car period we have between now and the checkered flag? Well, someone's in the pits. That'll be Gainful Odds to serve his drive-through. There's Leppy going wide on the restart there, and he's going side by side with Eckhart and King of the Hills into Abbey, who will break later. Someone's got to give way. Oh, and the Renault and the Haas go off into the runoff area. I think the Mercedes went off it, actually. I wonder if they gain an advantage, actually. But Big Boss Bells has now also got a time penalty to his name. 3 seconds, I think it is. So they'll go to his time at the end of the race, which is good news for Dixon for when he comes in for his only stop of the race. Now King Big Boss Bells close in on Dixon. Get back into contention for the race victory. We've got a better dry coming out of Cops than Scotty. Can he pull alongside? The answer is no. Stays behind. No DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart, so Big Boss will also have to get through it the old-fashioned way. The 2 bone wheels. And Big Boss Bells almost getting onto the grass there, going side by side on the hanger straight. And Big Boss Bells is surely going to go back up into 3rd position here, and he does so. Now Scotty's got his teammate of Vamo right behind. Max is closing in as well. King of the Hills has dropped back from that lot. Vamo gets past Scotty, as does Max. So I wonder if Scotty made a mistake somewhere coming out of Vale and Club. But he's down to 6th position. Eckhart trying to get past Leppy now. And Big Boss Bells now has passed Wild Dog for 2nd place into Brooklands. There we go. So Big Boss Bells up to 2nd place and can now go after Dixon. Leppy's also passed King of the Hills, who's now also been passed by Eckhart for 8th place. King of the Hills demoted to 9th. Well, Eckhart is looking to pounce on his soft compound tyres to get past the Haas of Leppy ahead. Eckhart going a bit too far wide, actually. Dixon's now got a time penalty of 3 seconds. So I'm sure that time penalty is going to determine the race result here. Gamefloss is back in the pits for a change of tyres this time. He's still on the lead lap in 12th place, so he'll have to probably hope for another safety car to get back into the action. Eckhart passes Leppy for 7th place on the hanger straight, and he's through. And Gamefloss has gone off. Has he damaged his car? No, he hasn't. But he rejoins. Hopefully that's not enough to deploy the safety car again. Mace ahead. Oh, King of the Hills is off. He gathers it all together there on the start-finish straight. But he's lost position to Maged. Vamu in 4th place now. DRS open on the racing point. So DRS has been enabled. Vamu will be able to use it once he gets onto the hanger straight here. He's got Max behind as well, who's doing well on his soft compound tyres, so Vamu needs to watch Max behind. He'll have more grip at this stage. There's Wild Dog, who will be struggling now on his old set of mediums. Vamu will be flying more on his fresh set of hards. To the outside he goes, on the hanger straight. And Vamu should get the job done here, and he does so. Vamu up to 3rd place now, as Big Boss Bells closes in on Dixon for the race lead. So Big Boswell's in P2, right behind Dixon. Through Maggots. Then the right-hander of Beckett's, and then Chappell. And Leffy behind Eckott now as they tussle over 7th. And Dixon's lost the lead now to Big Boswell's because he's deciding to make a pit stop. A bit surprised he's deciding to make the change now. Now this is a crucial stop in the race. Soft tyres are ready. They go on to the AlphaTauri. And Dixon will go back out on his way again. He'll rejoin, I think, in 10th place behind King of the Hills. So there's Dixon exiting the pit lane ahead of the Williams. 10th place is his. So it's going to be very much a comeback drive here from Dixon between now and the checkered flag. What can Wild Dog do behind Max? I doubt that he'll be going to the end of the race. Wild Dog will not be going to the end of the race on his mediums. Vomo can, though. He's surely now the favourite to win this one, given that he is on hard tyres that will most certainly do the distance that he's planning to do. But Big Boss Bells, I don't think his tyres will go to the end, to be honest with you. He knows that Dixon's pitted. And Wild Dog's in the pits now for Haas. Is it going to be another set of softs going on to the Haas car? And the Haas driver goes out on his way again. And someone's gone off in sector 2. It's Jay Hartnell. He's crashed out on the exit of Cops. And we've got another safety car, I think, is it? It's a virtual safety car, actually. So not a full safety car. It's our first virtual safety car of the race. But Jay Hartnell has crashed out on the exit of Cops Corner. There's no one at the moment, well, apart from Lynx, actually. He's right at the back of the field anyway. They're back on the way again, though. Big Blood Bells still in the lead. Dixon going on a charge now in the AlphaTauri. Thirteen drivers still running in this British Grand Prix. And one of the racing points coming into the pits, that's Scotty, who's been on those mediums for 26 laps. And so he'll be going on to a set of softs, I would imagine. Let's go to the end of the race on. King of the Hills, likewise, ending his 8-lap stint on the hards. Leppy's past Eckott. Let's go up into 4th position. Next man up from him is Max. Wild Dog goes through. Slow coach as well. So Scotty will rejoin in 10th. Dixon now back up to 7th. At the moment, the fastest lap is that, well, that says it's Lynx who's got the fastest lap, but there's no way he'll keep that. That's not a natural lap time of his. So at the moment, the driver with the fastest lap, at the moment it's Big Boss Bells, but Dixon will have, at the moment, Beyond Costa saying, oh, someone's had a spin at the last turn. Is that Gainful Odds who's gone for a spin on the start finish straight? It is. So he's rejoined. No need for a safety car. Oh, and Slow Coach going wheel to wheel there with Scotty as they came through Maggots. And he was very lucky there to not end up on the grass. And possibly into the barrier. But Dixon is coming round. Supposed to 1 minute 27.1, which is now the fastest up of the race. So 2 championship points, or 1 championship point going to him. So Big Boss Bells' lead is nearly 8 seconds. So Vamo in second place. He is dropping back at the moment, but Big Boss Bells' tyres will start falling away very, very soon. Dixon fighting back here. The lead between him and race leader Big Boss Bells is 28 seconds. And he's on tyres that have done 7 laps less than the Alfa Romeo. Dixon closing in on Maze now as they come into Cops. And all right on board with Dixon. Taking a much better line than Maze is doing at the moment. Enough for him to get DRS on the hanger straight. Maze will know that he's there. Dixon gets into the slipstream, pulls out to the outside. Does he go through? The answer is yes. Maze made it very easy, actually. Just didn't want to fight it. But Dixon is now back up into 6th position. Next man up from him is Eckhart, who I don't think is going to go to the end of the race on his set of tyres. And one of the Renaults has gone off. It's King of the Hills. He's lost it at Chapel. And we have our second virtual safety car of the race. So King of the Hills out of the race. No points for him. Both Renaults out of it now. We have our 6th interruption of the race. It's our second virtual safety car. And there's no drivers at the moment thinking about pitting during this. The nearest one to the pit lane is the one that's just gone past, which is the Williams of Slow Coach. And then Big Boss Bells will be the next one to go past the pit lane. Or past pit lane entry. And we should be back underway very, very shortly here. We're back underway again though. Big Boss Bells leads. Had a Vamu with Max, Leppy, Eckhart and Dixon your top 6. And there's hardly any battles going on out on track right now. The drivers are just thinking, given all the incidents that's happened, just make sure we get to the end of the race without any more drama. And May's back in the pit lane now, going on to a set of softs. He'll rejoin ahead of Slow Coach, I imagine. Slow Coach is coming through Vale and Club, but Mays is already close to the pit exit, and he should get out in front of him. So Mays rejoins in 9th ahead of the Williams. On course for some points again here today. We're on lap 36 of this British Grand Prix. 17 laps to go. Big Boss Bells is your race leader. Vamu is second. And as it stands with the time penalties, Big Boss Bells would win the race. And with Dixon in 6th position, that would not be enough for him to clinch the title here today. The title race will go down to the last event at the Rebel Ring in Austria next weekend. Vamu is in 2nd place, on course for a really good result here. He was excellent last week, actually, in Singapore, and putting in another strong drive here today. Max is on course for a good result in the AlphaTauri. He's got a 3-second penalty, which is not too bad. Dixon, 2.2 seconds off Eckert in front. I think Eckert will be coming into the pits for one last tyre change. So through Copse he comes. And, oh, someone else has gone off the track. Is that Lepe who's gone off? It is. So Lepe's gone well wide at Beckett's. He's cut through Chapel as well. He's come back out on circuit behind Dixon. That's one less car, at least, for Dixon to get past. And Eckert finally pitting. So that's even one less car for Dixon to get by. So he's now back into 4th position, which I'm not 100% sure whether that'll be enough for him to clinch the title. He was 21 points clear of Orange and Gamma going into the event, but with Big Balls Bells leading and Dixon in 4th place, that would not be enough for Dixon to clinch the title. He needs to finish on the podium, which is very much possible now. Eckert will rejoin ahead of Mays, who's only just coming through Vale now. There's only one driver in this race who doesn't have a time penalty, and that's Vamu, who is second. Nearly losing it, actually, on the entry to Beckett's. You can see how hard he's pushing, and he can afford to. He's on the hard tyres that have done only 14 laps so far, which can do a long, long distance. And that's helping him to stay ahead of Max and Dixon as well. Big Bull Bells completing lap 37. He's in frame to take the British Grand Prix victory. He's already done at least 15 laps on those softs. He's got another 15 to do on them. Here's Lepe in 5th place. I wonder whether he may think about coming in for a last tyre change onto the softs. Now Vamu, in order to win this race actually, he only needs to stay within 3 seconds of Big Boss Bells. Big Boss Bells has got a decision to make. The gap he's got over Dixon is over 21 seconds, and Dixon's catching him. So I think if Big Boss Bells is to win this race, he must think about pitting again. Now Dixon needs to just pass one more car now, and he'll be ever, ever so close to sealing the title, even if he doesn't win the race. He's just needed to outscore Orange and Gamma by 21 points at least in this race. He could do that actually by getting the fastest lap, which he currently occupies. So that would get him a point, plus the 20 for finishing fourth. That would put him 42 points clear of Orange and Gamma. But Big Boss Bells' victory would move him to 40 points behind Dixon. So Dixon would not mathematically have had the championship clinch here today. So Dixon closing in all the time on Max. So yeah, you get a pole position for fast start and the race victory. So and pole position. So Big Boss Bells took pole position, and victory would put him on to 41 points for this race. Dixon would get 21. So the gap would come down to 39 points between Dixon and Big Boss Bells at the end of this one. So Dixon is to win this championship. He needs to pass one more driver, and the title is his. Just one more car, and the championship trophy will be coming home for Dixon. And May's going for a spin on the exit of the club, but rejoins. He's currently in 9th place right now. Big Boss Bells approaching. The Williams of slow coach should move out of the way. The car is ghosted anyhow. So Big Boss Bells. The only way, another way that Dixon could clinch the cycle is if Famu can get past Big Boss Bells. Now with 12 laps remaining, how soon will it be before Big Boss Bells' tyres go off? Can't be too far away. Vamu knows what he needs to do, and let's just stay in touch with him. Now, a late safety car could change things. It really, really could. Orange and Gamma coming in saying, I've missed out on a good race from what I've just come and seen. To be honest, you've not missed too much, but we've had 4 safety car periods and 2 virtual safety car periods. So we've had like 6 interruptions in this race. Dixon's in 4th place. Big Boss Bells is leading. Vamu is the only driver who does not have a time penalty. Dixon now 4.7 seconds away from his teammate and the championship trophy. Four and a half seconds now. So he's closing in all the time with 11 laps remaining. Big Boss Bells has increased the gap now between himself and Vamu to 7.9 seconds. There's Dixon. .3 seconds is the gap between Max and Dixon. And within 1 second actually of the Williams, he may be able to use the DRS on the Wellington straight to close in the gap. There we go. He's got the luxury of the DRS, which he uses now. So Dixon coming through Woodcote and Loffield. He's now 2.5 seconds behind Dixon. The gap continuing to come down, 2.3 seconds. It is. Now, the good news for Dixon, actually, I've just been told that Max has been given another time penalty for track limits, and that has put Dixon within range of overtaking him at the flag. So as it stands, Dixon will be on the podium, and crucially, he will be crowned champion. .5 seconds is the gap now between those two. The championship is so close for Dixon. He's already won the Super Sunday F1 title with races to spare. Is he about to clinch the title with a race to spare in the 100% Racing Championship? Max going a bit wide there through Woodcote. Dixon will be on the tail of him now. He'll be even closer to him once they go through Maggots, Beckers and Chapel. Someone's had a bit of a moment there. It's one of the Williams. Dixon ready to strike now as they go onto the hangar straight. DRS open. Dixon to the inside. Max doesn't fight it. Dixon is up into the podium places, and that will be enough for him to be crowned champion. But we've still got another 8 laps remaining. So over 19 seconds is the gap between Big Boss Bells and Dixon. Vamu continuing to lose ground, so Big Boss Bells' lead looks safe. But he's been on softs for 23 laps now. Dixon still holds the fastest up of the race, so he's still very much in play to get the race victory. Well, not the race victory, but the championship clinched here now. Just looking at the penalties and how that would change things at the flag. Wild Dogs picked up another 3 seconds worth of time penalty. Not good news for him. At the moment, he's about to lose 6th place actually to Scotty, unless he could just maintain a 6-second gap, but even that's proven to be difficult. That would be the only change. Essentially, anyway. .3 seconds is the gap between Big Boss Bells leading and Vamu in second. Dixon a second clear of Max in the fight for third place. The good news for Big Boss Bells is with Gamma not racing today, he'll move up to second in the championship going into the last round of the season in Austria. Big Boss Bells' tyres are looking in decent condition actually, even those tyres are 25 laps old now. Looking further down the audience, Scotty holds 7th ahead of Vakot, who's had a quiet race in 8th place. He has got the same time penalty as Scotty, so he's got at least an opportunity to try and get past him before the checker flag. Mazed in 9th, gainful odds, settling for 10th place. Slow Coach in 11th. At least he's on course for a points finish. We're now on lap 48, 5 laps remaining of this British Grand Prix. Not long to go now before this race comes to its conclusion. Three seconds is the gap now between Dixon and Max. with Vamu finishing second. A second place finish gets you 32 points. Vamu's total will go up to 98. And that would put him up to 4th in the championship from 7th. So he's had a good race as Vamu, putting in some decent form. So Big Bells Bells on lap 49 stretched out the margin to nearly 10 seconds over Vamu. Dixon's just lapped the Ferrari of Lynx, who apparently, according to the timing pages, he's 5 laps behind, which would still be enough to see him classified on the timing pages as a finisher, but he won't be going too many laps down before the race is over, otherwise he won't be getting the points he would be eligible for. There's Big Boss Bells lapping the Williams there. It looks like slow coach. So start to see the graining now on Big Boss Bells' tyres. He's got 3 more laps to do. Shouldn't be a problem. Gap now 10 seconds. Dixon closing in slightly on Vamu. 8.3 it is between those two. Max just settling for 4th now. They come towards the checker flag. So Big Boss Bells entering Vale and then Club. And he'll have 2 more laps. Over 10 more kilometres. And victory will be his here at Silverstone. And convincingly so as well. He's won this race on merit. Vamu will be very happy to finish in front of Dixon. There's Leppy in 5th place. He's 4.8 seconds behind Max on the road, but he's got an enormous time penalty of 19 seconds they'll have to serve at the end of the race. But even that won't drop him. That won't drop him down the order. And I can tell you that with Eckott, within 3 seconds of Scotty, he would inherit 7th place at the checker flag. And he's on better tyres actually than Scotty at this stage, so this could be a fun battle to watch. Gainful odds into the pits. Probably try and go for the fastest lap. But Eckott is coming through now. Is he coming? He'll be on the tail of Scotty very, very shortly on his mediums. Scotty's softs will be very, very warm now at this point. As Big Boss Bells has started the final lap of this race. It's been a scintillating performance from Big Boss Bells from pole position to the flag. And this would not quite be enough to keep the cycle race going. But he's at least going to be picking up his 2nd victory of the season. Dixon will be very proud of himself to get himself up to where he is now. He's just got 5 more kilometres before he can see a flag full of black and white squares, of which will see him crowned champion with a race to spare. So Big Boss Bells then entering Maggots, Beckett and Chapel for the last time. Onto the Hanger Straight. So corner to get through. You can see the crowd standing up on their feet, applauding for Big Boss Bells, who's about to come through the last few turns. For his second victory of the season, Big Boss Bells enters the Hamilton Straight for the last time. Big Boss Bells wins the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. That moves him up to second place in the championship with 1 round remaining. Vamu will cross the line second, but we want to go to Dixon, who's entering Vale and Club. He's been brilliant this season. Dixon comes home in 3rd place, and with that, he is the Formula Racing League 100% Racing Champion of the World. Superb performance from Dixon over the course of the campaign. 5 race victories to his name. He couldn't quite win here today, but he didn't need to do. He just needed to amass the points to build a huge enough gap over Big Boss Bells and Orange and Gamma, who wasn't able to race here today. But Dixon is crowned champion with his podium position. Max is 4th ahead of Leppy. Wild Dog will be 6th. Eckhart has got by Scotty on the last lap. He'll be 7th. Scotty 8th. Mays 9th. And the last man on the lead lap. Gainful Odds trying to go for the fastest lap. Now the fastest lap of the race is a 1 minute 27. I don't think Gainful Odds is going to quite get that. It's his own fastest personal lap of the race. Mays is 9th on the last lap. On the lead lap, I should say. But Big Boss Bells is your race winner at Silverstone. Dixon is crowned champion of the 100% Racing Championship in the FRL. So the driver's out now onto the podium. Big Boss Bells, your race winner. Dixon, your champion. With 1 race to spare. And the driver's taking the moment to celebrate. Van will be very, very happy with his 2nd place in this one. Putting a really, really convincing performance that moves him up to 4th in the championship standings. But no one came close to Big Boss Bells today. Excellent performance from him. So your final race result here in the British Grand Prix. Big Boss Bells wins ahead of Vamu. Dixon is 3rd and champion. Max 4th, Leppy 5th, Wild Dog in 6th, Eckhart in 7th, Scotty 8th, Mace 9th, Gatefull Odds rounding out your top 10. So Coach was 11th, followed by Lynx in 12th and the last driver to finish. King of the Hills 13th, had Jay Hartnell. Mazzaspin also retired. Liverpool fan crashed out, and Mielios was the first one to crash out that caused one of the safety car periods. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you, folks, for listening, for watching this. We've got 1 round remaining in the 100% Racing Championship. That's at the Red Bull Ring in Austria on Saturday, the 10th of July, 9 o'clock British Summer Time for the last race of the season. We are reverting back to the normal time, as there is nothing important out there in the world clashing with this. You can watch the qualifying session on Friday on 7 p.m. British Summer Time, and then the race itself, the last race of the season, on Saturday at 9 o'clock British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.